What if I told you there were people out there making $10,000 to $20,000 a month selling products that they've never physically owned themselves? And know before you jump off, I'm not talking about drop shipping, Etsy, print on demand, affiliate marketing, really anything you've heard of in the past. I'm talking about a strategy that I used to make well over $25,000 last month in pure profit, and it's called remote closing. So here's the harsh reality. 80% of businesses fail within the first 5 years, and a small percentage of those consider themselves to be lucky if they even break even. So today, I'm going to show you how I use this exact strategy at the right time to stack the odds in my favor, giving me the best chance of seeing success and actually growing my income well past $10,000 a month. I'm going to show you why this is probably the simplest and straightforward way to create an income online, regardless of your background, of your age, location, what your skills are, or even how much money you have in your bank account. So let's break it down. What is remote closing in the first place? Well, think of remote closing as a form of affiliate marketing, just way more income potential. And instead of, let's say, making $1 to $50 per sale with traditional affiliate marketing, you have the potential to make hundreds or even thousands of dollars off of one single sale. How? Well, you partner with already existing business owners or influencers that have some sort of course or product to sell. And these entrepreneurs and influencers don't have enough time to sit on hundreds of calls with potential customers. So you plug into the seat, become a remote closer within their business, and bring in more sales for them. And you're compensated handsomely for doing so. Now, I want to set your expectations before we dig any deeper here. When it comes to making money online or just simply pursuing something meaningful in your life, I want you to understand that it's going to take some serious perseverance. It's going to take persistence and even passion to actually make things work out in your favor. If you're just getting started, what you need to be aiming for is something that will give you the simplest methodology that anyone can learn and practice while also giving you desired results within a reasonable time frame. All that out of the way, let's begin. The very first step is to simply understand what you're getting yourself into. Remote closing is a new way of saying that you're going to be a sales rep for other people's products, of course, without being sleazy or scammy in the process, let's say like a used car salesperson. Your main goal as a remote closer is to help other people that are already interested in a specific product and actually commit to the decision that they're buying something that is going to ultimately help them solve their problem. And the best part is, it's all remote. I mean, it's in the name. With every business out there moving into the online space, remote closing is by far the most adaptable way of doing any sort of transaction between a customer and a business online, more so in the high ticket space. Now, before you jump away, most people think you need experience, but you actually don't need any sales experience at all. It's actually more preferred that you don't have previous experience because you don't have to unlearn a lot of the bad habits that come with traditional sales. And to be honest, I was pretty much that person. When I first started, I didn't have sales experience, and heck, I even hated sales. I despised salespeople, and if my past self knew that my now self was doing sales, they'd probably hate me because of the misconceptions that came along with it. But it's just so different with remote closing is because you were getting paid to help people make better decisions for their lives and help them get past the mindset barriers and the barriers that are just holding them back in life in general. And one of the next questions I always get is like, well, Aaron, like what types of companies would I work with? Well, what's more enticing about this entire process is that you can partner with business owners that are already in a specific niche that you're passionate about. So let's just say that you're someone's really passionate about health and fitness and wellness, right? You can partner up with other businesses that have heavy focuses on those things and have a course or a product. So what it ends up being is a perfect fit. So it doesn't matter if your interest is finance, real estate, making money online, health and weight loss, spirituality, it doesn't matter. There's always going to be a business or an opportunity for you to partner with and help them make sales. Now, I just can't emphasize this enough, but it will take some time to learn and see results. It could take weeks or even months, but if you're making $10,000 a month or more and potentially making hundreds of dollars off of one single phone call in a day, wouldn't that be worth it? And with the remote closing, there's no sifting through millions of products on ClickBank to find one that you think might pop off, just like most affiliate marketing people do. All you need to do is literally sell a specific product for people that are already warm and interested in that specific product, and all they need is just a little push in the right direction. Now, this brings us to step number 2, which is deciding how much money you reasonably want to make, and ultimately, if you want to do this part-time or full-time. And I'll emphasize, yes, there are options for you to do this part-time to maybe test the waters a little bit, and then transition to full-time if you wanted to do so. Now, you might be thinking, okay, yes, Aaron, that's obvious. The more time that you put into this, the more money you're going to take out. After all all you need to do is jump on the phone calls and make the sale for the business, right? Well, yes and no. So what if I told you that you can choose the business that you reach out to and potentially partner with, but instead of making, let's say, $500 per sale for the business, you could be making $1,000 or $2,000 or $5,000 off of every single sale that you make. So if your goal, just to keep numbers simple, let's say you want to make $10,000 a month, instead of closing 20 people, for example, what if you could only close half of those, but still get the same result? Or maybe close half of them and make 2 times the amount that you're making on the same offer. Now, we'll break down where to find these companies and how to reach out to them. But this is one of the most important parts that you want to understand is a lot of salespeople run into a situation where they are not making the money that they want, but putting a ton of effort into it. And it comes from a quote from a guy named, you might know him, his name's Warren Buffett. And his quote goes, "It's not how hard that you row, but it's far more important the boat that you're in." And what Warren means by this quote is that it doesn't matter so much the skill sets of a salesperson, right? You can be the best salesperson in the world, but if you're not in the right boat or you're not in the right vehicle, or in this case, you're not in the right offer, you're not going to make the money that you want with the amount of time that you're putting into it. Now, why is this all so important? And it might be obvious, but if you can make more money by spending less time, the time that you gain from, working smarter is you can then now put that time into other things, right? Let's say, for me, I like to spend time with my family. I just recently started taking flight lessons to get my private pilot license. Yeah, it sounds kind of crazy. But I can now do that in my spare time. I can go and hang out with my brothers if I want to and play a round of golf, or I could just mow the lawn outside and do some of this relaxing stuff that I like to do on the weekends. Now, this finally brings us to the third step, which is choosing who to work with and the businesses to partner with. Now, there are a ton of different ways to find different jobs, and I've made a couple of videos on the channel about where to find them, but let me touch on it a little bit here. So the first way is to find businesses through things like Facebook groups. Here you can see their people are actively looking for remote closers for their business, and they tell you in full detail who they are, what they do, and more importantly, how much money you could potentially make in a month just by partnering with them. It's literally a job posting Facebook group for high-ticket business owners and influencers that are actively looking for people. And the second way that I always talk about is a job posting site like Indeed. Now, there are others are out there, but here we also see high-ticket businesses and influencers that are looking for remote closers. But what makes this better is you can easily filter things based on your own personal preference. For example, you could search up remote closing, but you're someone who's specifically looking for a specific country or time zone. You could even go as far as searching for job posting in a specific niche. Again, if you're someone who's interested in health and fitness and you want to look for a position that, let's say, they specialize in that industry, you can do that on Indeed as well. There are tons, hundreds, if not thousands of opportunities to be a remote closer for. All you need to do is just do a little bit of research and gauge it for yourself to see if you could work together with some of these businesses. But okay, Aaron, what if I already found a company and I want to work with them? Do I just send them a message? Remember, I don't have any experience whatsoever. That's a quote from you saying that to me on this video. Now, recently I put together a video on how you can do that, how you reach out to the people, how you stand out. And in that video, we pretty much share in the step-by-step process on how to do the outreach for those positions. Really, all you need to do is follow the video and reach out to a lot of businesses out there. I mean, let's say you reach out to 50 to 100 businesses. So don't just narrow it down to one and only wait for that one to respond back. Now, I won't mention all the intricate details about remote closing on this video. I don't want to overload you with all the information. We have a ton of videos that break down every single process here on the channel. But really, for my goal for this video is just to give you that high-level overview of what it is and how I was able to consistently make 5 figures a month while still having the sort of work-life balance that revolves around my terms and the lifestyle that I want to build. But what I can guarantee you is that remote closing actually works. Not just from me, but the hundreds and thousands of students that we brought through our programs. It works in the sense that you don't need to run an online business or start a product or anything like that just to reach 5-figure months online. You don't need to build and train a team at all because you're the one who's integrating it yourself with already existing business owners and businesses that are growing all around the world. And you also don't need to invest into any sort of equipment. I mean, if you're watching this video, you have pretty much everything that you need to get started. You have an internet connection, you have a phone or a laptop. You don't have to handle any sort of marketing. These businesses already have the marketing department done for you and they handle that. The only thing that you should be focusing on is allocating all your time and to enhance your skills as a remote closer, which is honestly something that you're going to be doing every day anyways as you do it. and in any aspect of your life. A few years back, I thought that I needed to build and run a business online, maybe because I wanted to become rich or I wanted to be the boss, I wanted to be the entrepreneur. But now I'm happy and content with what I'm doing overall. I get to spend time with my wife and 3 kids. I get to hang out with my brothers. I even get to take care of some of our farm animals in the house, surrounded by nature, which ultimately wasn't something that I expected to enjoy in terms of the chickens, but hey, we're here and I love what I'm doing every single day. Now, I totally get it. It's hard to imagine right now that making $10,000 a month is even possible, especially if you're nowhere close to that. But I want you to see for yourself that if you're going to align your goals with your life, I know that it did for me, and being able to take the actions that I needed to got me to the point where I am today. Now, here's what I'll say. Feel free to go and start a business if you'd like, but just take note that it is hard to start a business, but it's also harder to maintain and run the business and keep it afloat, as opposed to just with remote closing, you're learning one high value skill. Regardless of what you decide to do, what business, just understand that anything that you do, anything that you put your time into to try to make money online, they're all going to require some sort of perseverance and persistence and overall passion in what you're doing. And if you don't see your work pay off right away, which is extremely common, don't get discouraged too quickly. Take it from me. I've done everything and experimented with a lot of things online for the past few years to grow my income to 5 figures a month. And I was able to achieve just that by remote closing. So if you're ready to take the next step and learn the exact scripts you need to use to see success as a remote closer, check the video out on screen. It's going to go over the scripts that we give to our closers that are doing $30,000 to $50,000 a month every single month as remote closers. So click the video on screen, go check it out. We'll see you on the inside.